Hello my friends, Ahsoka here. So in this video, we're just going to take a look at a bunch of random Batman figures. So what you're looking at is one of my crates, which I store action figures in. So first of all, why do I store action figures in these crates? That's a great question, people. So as you can see, as I pan up to my shelf, I have a lot of shelves already. And for a while, I was just putting up more shelves and more shelves. Over here to the left here, there used to be a ton of shelves up here. And then I took them all down just because I was getting... It was just too much clutter. It was just too much, and it was too much of a good thing. But I just had too many shelves, too many figures. They constantly fall over. You know, I know a lot of you can definitely probably relate to that. So what I did was went with a little bit more of a less is more approach. So now what I do is I keep all my figures limited to just the shelves you see here, and you know, just kind of all the way back there. So all my figures are on these shelves. And then at the bottom, I have all those crates, and the crates to store random figures. I rotate figures in and out as the mood strikes me. And this is just honestly a little bit more efficient for me because I take a lot of pictures, obviously, of action figures. So rather than having to constantly mess up my display, which I still do because I have to get stuff off the shelf, instead what I do is just pull them out of the crate. And of course, those crates end up becoming really messy as well. So anyways, that's why I use the crates. It's worked out nicely. Only problem is they do get, some of the figures have got a little scuffed up because they're constantly touching each other. Ooh, that doesn't sound very nice. So I have thought about putting them in plastic or doing some sort of alternate storage that it's tough. Like, because I like them in the crates because it's easy for me to get them out. But then again, they get scuffed up, they get messy. Like you can see in this Batman one, they get disorganized very, very easily. So I haven't really found the perfect solution. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear how you guys store all your action figures and so on. But anyways, back to the main topic of this video. So I'm just going to go through a bunch of different Batman figures that are in one of these crates. Just talk about each one, take a look at them, just random figures. I'm going to first start off though with this awesome 2-pack I got recently. This is from DC Direct, which is now DC, which was formerly DC Collectibles, which is now DC Direct again. So this is the awesome DC Origins series from DC Direct that had a classic version of the character and a modern version of the character. Typically, I think they were all repaints, but they were really beautifully done repaints. They're just really nice figures. So I haven't opened this guy up yet just because it was a little pricey, and also it looks great in the packaging. I'll probably eventually open it up just because I don't have room to store a bunch of, you know, not open figures. I really want to take some pictures of the figures outside of the box, so I'm sure eventually I'll open it up. For now, it's just in the case. So anyways, I'm going to move on from that though and go into the little crate here. Let's take a look at some Batman figures this morning. Okay. Alright, so first, let's take a look at this guy. So this is the GameStop exclusive DC Collectibles Jim Lee edition Batman. So this guy was released last year from DC Collectibles. It was only available in GameStop stores. So as you can see, it's a repaint of the New 52 Batman, except it has this 2D color scheme to him, which I think is really fantastic. First of all, I love this figure, you know, in general. But now with this 2D, I'm a sucker for 2D action figures that kind of mimic a comic book page. So yeah, there he is right there. A Wonder Woman and Superman was also released. I've been in a few GameStops and I still see these figures on the shelf, so I think you can still get this guy from GameStop. Okay, let's take a look at another one. So this is the DC Collectibles DC Designer Series Greg Capullo Jim Gordon Batman. So this is actually Jim Gordon. For a while he took over as Batman in the comic books. And this is his costume, and man, I love this costume. I love the minimalist look on it. I love the yellow Bat logo. The design of the figure, everything about it is brilliant in my opinion. I really love this look of the costume. I would love to see this brought back or a variation of it. He did come in a 2-pack with the rookie Batman robot guy, which is a brilliant 2-pack because the robot, you can take the head off and there's a a head sculpt of Batman in there. So I highly recommend that. I don't know how much it goes for nowadays, but definitely worth your time. So that's another beautiful figure. Here is the Beast Kingdom's Batman vs. Superman Batman. So I have a mixed relationship or mixed feelings about Beast Kingdom. I really like this figure. This one is probably my favorite Beast Kingdom figure. It's a really great figure. It looks awesome. He looks good. And then my biggest complaint about Beast Kingdom is like the arms sort of pop out of the sockets very easily. It looks kind of funny sometimes on some of their other figures, but this figure looks great. So I can't recommend this figure enough. I think it's a great rendition of Batman. So, and it's a great figure. There he is. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay, this is the DC Direct Public Enemies Batman Beyond figure. So this is based on the artwork of Ed McGuinness. So that's why he's got this sort of very distinct style to him. He looks great with all the other Public Enemy figures from DC Direct. And yeah, it's a really nice Batman Beyond figure. The next one here is the DC Collectibles Arkham City Batman. I got this on eBay a few weeks ago by itself. It's a nice figure. These Arkham figures are all really awesome, except the articulation is a little odd on them, which is strange because I really usually don't care about articulation. But in these ones, it's just, they could have used a little bit more articulation or a different type of articulation. But they look great. They're lovely looking figures. Alright, the next one, this one is from Mattel. This is a Mattel Multiverse, and I cannot for the life of me remember how to say the name. It's like the Mattel Multiverse Zunzar Batman. It starts with a Z. It's a really funky name. And this costume was used twice in the comic books that I know of. First in the I think Golden Age or the Silver Age, it was used. It was like a Batman from an alien planet, I believe the story was. And then more recently, Grant Morrison had him in this costume in, I think, the Batman Rip storyline from a few years ago. So I think this costume is based on, this look is based on more of the Grant Morrison costume, but this is just a really cool, funky looking figure. But it's a lot of fun. Mattel did a great job on this figure. So yeah, there he is. Okay. What do we got next? Alright, so here is a Batman, the DC Direct Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller Batman. So this is a great figure, obviously, and I say that a lot, don't I? But yeah, this really is a nice figure. It captures the look of the comic book very nicely. Only complaint with this guy is he's really hard to stand. He constantly falls over. He's kind of in this awkward, weird pose. But not an awkward, weird pose, but he's just the way they designed him. He does not stand up very easily, but the figure itself is great. And there's a few different repaints of this guy. Alright, and what do we got next? Okay, well, let's skip around. Okay, so this one I really love. This is the DC Direct Secret Files Batman, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but this one, it was actually released twice. First, it was released in the Killing Joke 2-pack, based on the comic book The Killing Joke, and it was released with the Joker figure. And then it was released again with an alternate Hugo Strange head, based on his appearance in the comic book of when he dressed up like Batman. So that's the version I got. So this one actually has a Hugo Strange head. I probably should have pulled it out for this video, but oh well. Anyway, this is just a fantastic figure. It really captures the Brian Boland comic book art. The cape looks amazing. I mean, look how that flows. And yeah, so there's two options for you with this. It's either the Secret Files version, which I recommend because it has Hugo Strange, or the 2-pack that comes with the Joker. Okay? As I talk about this, if you're asking where to get all these figures, probably eBay is your best bet for most of these, just because a lot of these are really old. Okay? Alright, next we have the Alex Ross Justice Armored Batman. This one is missing a few pieces. It's missing the wings. I don't know where they are. They're around here somewhere. But as you can see, this figure is based on the Alex Ross design from the Justice comic book series. And it's designed to look like the 1960s Batmobile, which he did a really phenomenal job. It's like the Batmobile came to life as a costume. So yeah, it's a really, really cool looking design. Oh, Mr. Camera won't focus. There you go. Alright. let's take a look at another one. Oh, you hear that in the background? That was a figure falling. Okay, this is a DC Direct Silver Age Batman. This actually is based on the artwork of Dick Spring. This one came with a Robin figure, a old school Robin figure. It was in a 2-pack. This one's been repainted many times by DC Direct. Actually, here's another version of it right there that I just pulled out. So there's basically the two similar, same body, different head sculpts. But yeah, both of these are really nice figures, capturing that classic Silver Age design. So yeah, there's those two guys. All right, next we have the DC Icons figure. So this is the DC Icons Batman Rebirth figure. So the DC Icons line, what could have been? So at first I wasn't a fan of the DC Icons line just because of the scale. It wasn't in scale with any of the other DC Direct figures or DC Collectibles figures. It was actually shorter than even like the Mattel Multiverse figures. But after a while they really grew on me because they were beautifully designed figures. The articulation was awesome. They came with a bunch of accessories. The character selection was great. We got our first Static Shock figure from the DC Icons line. We got Jonathan Kent in that line, so I really do like this line. I wish it had actually gone on now, but yeah, there's the Batman. This one actually came in the Justice League box set. Alright, next we have the Batman and Son, I'm sorry, I think it's the Batman and Sons Batman, but not Sons, Batman and Son Batman. This is based on the artwork of, I want to say Andy Kubert, I'm saying his name wrong. And this figure is a repaint. This is the DC Direct, I think 10th anniversary Batman that was only available at Comic-Con, so obviously I opened him up. The regular version I think has a different bat logo and different color scheme, but more or less it's the same figure. So what I really like about this figure is this really long cape, which is really cool. So there you go, and it's just, yeah, it's a great looking figure. There he is. Okay. And let's just do a couple more because this video is already at 12 minutes. Let's do a few more. Okay, here is, this one's a little scuffed up. Let's take one that's not so scuffed up. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. Alright, so here is the Ed McGuinness Public Enemies Batman figure. Again, this is from DC Direct, and it has that very typical Ed McGuinness style. It looks great with all the other figures. And I like the belt on this especially. I just really like the design of the belt on it. And yeah, it's just it's a great figure. It's got a little shorter cape than most Batman figures, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright. So this is a weird one. This is the Mattel Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Batman. This one was in a 2-pack with a Superman, and the skin is black. And on the Superman, the skin was black as well. And what they were trying to do was make it look like the comic book covers, where it's like a black silhouette of the characters. But I don't think they really pulled it off, because like the Superman one just looks like some weird, like, evil Superman, and this one too, I think if the figure was completely black, but there's like different colors on it, so it doesn't really mimic that. But I still like this figure a lot just because it's a great alternative to the blue and gray one, which you can actually see on the top of my shelf there. See, there's the regular edition, and then here is the black edition. I think what I would suggest is swapping the heads out probably. But yeah, it's an interesting figure. Definitely interesting. Okay, so let's do a couple more. Oh, here's my lone Mezco figure. I know you guys are like, how can you not have this expensive Mezco figure displayed proudly? That's a good question. I think because he always fell over. Even on his stand, this guy was always falling over. I don't know if it's just mine, but yeah. Anyway, this is the Mezco Ascending Knight Batman, and yeah, this is a gorgeous figure. I mean, Mezco does a fantastic job with these figures, and there he is. So this is my lone Mezco figure, and yeah, it's a great figure. You know, there he is. The only thing I don't like about Mezco figures personally is that they don't really scale well with other figures. I mean, obviously I have them sitting here, but like, you know, they seem a little smaller than like a 7-inch DC Direct figure. I wish they were a little bit taller. They kind of have a dinky feeling for me when I hold them. They're beautifully designed and sculpted. I just wish they were a little bit taller, just a tad. But yes, it's a gorgeous figure. I should probably put this back on the shelf actually. Alright, so just a couple more. I don't want to bore you to death with this. This is one of my favorite Batman figures. I might have said that 5 times already, but whatever. This is the DC Collectibles Jay Lee Batman. I love Jay Lee. I love his art. I love his. I love how they DC Direct kind of gave this a 2D feeling. And I love the Superman, Wonder Woman, and Catwoman from this line. So this is, yeah, I just love everything about this figure. It's a great figure. Alright, and let's just do one more. Or we'll do 2 more. Why not? Or 3 more. This is from the Mattel... it's not the Total Justice line. It might be, but it was from one of Mattel's basic lines from a few years ago that was sold in all stores, retail stores, and this is aimed more for kids. But this was just a great line. These figures, as you can see from this Batman, it was really nicely designed. It was at a lower price point, but they were great figures, great articulation, but still a great design even though it was at a lower price point. And this particular Batman was released in a few different color schemes or costumes. Oh, sorry, the focus. There we go. Okay. Next we have an Alex Ross Batman figure. I forget which line this is from. I think it's just from the Alex Ross line. And this figure also has been released a couple of times. This one has the oval bat symbol, but there is also one with just a regular black bat symbol, which I like a little bit more actually. This is nice, but I like that one a little bit more. Okay. This figure is from Mattel. I want to say it's from it might not be from the Multiverse line, it might be from their DC Superheroes line, but this was actually a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And as you can see, it shows Batman kind of taking off his mask in mid-reveal, which is a really interesting approach on this figure. So I really like it. It's really cool, and you can kind of see him taking off his mask. It's great for pictures, great for, you know, you action figure photographers out there who like to create those awesome scenes. Yeah, it's a really, really cool figure. Yeah. Alright, what do we have next? Oh, so this guy. Let's do another Mattel figure. So this is one of the last figures from Mattel featuring Batman. This was a tribute to the Toy Biz action figures, and this one garnered a lot of controversy on its release. You know, I think if you kind of understood that it was a tribute figure, then I think most people who looked at it that way are a fan of this figure like me. Yeah, it definitely has that Toy Biz look to it. So I really like this figure a lot. Now, if you're looking for a, you know, true to Michael Keaton Batman 89 figure, this is not it. Maybe Mattel couldn't get the rights to do the likeness like they could on that Alfred figure that was released around the same time. But I think maybe that's why they went down this approach, which I like. It looks like a Mattel, you know, a Toy Biz action figure, just done in a modern style. I love the black costume. And yes, I think it's a great figure. Alright, let's just do a few more, because my camera's going to run out of memory in about 10 minutes. So this figure really bugs me. So this is from Mattel as well. And this came with a Nightfall as Batman, the red version. That's the only reason I got this, because it came in a 2-pack. The reason why it bugs me is because I don't have this figure from Mattel in a regular version. So, and this one has this, you know, like the battle damage across his chest, which bugs me because it's really just that one piece of battle damage, that like cut, and there's no other battle damage on the figure. So I would rather just have had a normal figure, you know, a normal version of this character, but instead I had this, and I still want to hunt down a version of this figure without the battle damage. Okay, so there's that. Let's see, let's switch gears. Okay, so this is a staple of everyone's Batman collection, I want to say. This is the Jim Lee Hush Batman figure, the original version, which still, to this day, and this is probably like released 10 years ago, is still one of the best Batman figures ever made. I mean, first of all, it captures that Jim Lee style really well. It looks like a Jim Lee character come to life. The costume's perfect. You know, the gun, the grappling gun, I think it's grappling gun, yeah, is awesome, and this figure is just a great figure, and yeah, they did a great job on this. Now, I do actually have the repaint of this. I think his leg is currently off. He's in there somewhere, but here's a repaint of the same figure, which looks really nice. You know, hence aside from the leg missing, it's a beautiful, you know, version of this figure. I forget where this is from. I think it might have come in a 2-pack or something. But yeah, this. Oh no, I remember where this is from. This is from the Secret Files or Secret Identity series from DC Direct, and it came with an alternate Bruce Wayne head. So that's what this figure is from. Yeah. Alright, so just a couple more. I've said that like 20 times, but just a couple more. Let's see who else we should look at. Alright, here is another one of Mattel's last Batman figures. It was like 2-3 years ago. This is their Rebirth Batman figures. It's so weird. People have a really mixed reaction to this figure. Some people say it looks like a play school figure. Other people really like it. I really like it. I think it's a cool figure. I mean, I like the articulation. I like the design of it. And yeah, they did a great job with it. Okay. And let's just do one more to wrap it up. So, I'm going to wrap it up with the OG. This is the DC first appearance. No. This is actually from the Batman 4-pack. And came with a few other figures, but this is, I forgot the name of that 4-pack from DC Direct, but it came with a Alex Ross Batman, I think a Jim Lee version of the Batman, and something else. But this is a look at the first appearance of Batman. The only thing is, this one came with blue gloves. And I want to say that he actually did sport blue gloves for a minute in the comic books. He definitely wore purple gloves in his first appearance, but I think he also did wear blue gloves at some point as well, which is why they did this. I don't really like it. It's really random, the blue gloves, so I always kind of keep it posed here. And yeah, but it's a really great figure. Of course, you got to have the original. So this is the original look of Batman by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. And I think everyone should have that in their Batman collection. Alright, so that's probably a good place to stop with showing figures. So this is not all of my Batman figures. I have at least 10 to 15 more actually displayed on the shelves, and probably another 10 or more in different crates. At one point in my life, I think I did try to stop buying Batman and Superman figures because I had so many versions of it, but I just can't stop. I just love having different versions of Batman and Superman, so I'll probably keep buying them. And they keep making really cool, interesting ones, like the McFarlane ones with the Hellbat and all that. So you know, there's definitely some really cool Batman figures being produced every month, it seems like. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this random look at a bunch of random Batman figures. And thanks for watching the video. Please, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe or like or whatever it is. And if you're on Instagram, just like my page. And that'd be great. Or follow me. That's the correct term. That's about it. You guys have a great day. Take care.